what I really wanted to say is like, yo, if you want to make a woke city, please do so. Like, I want to save California, I want to save Las Vegas and Nevada. Y'all can move to Arizona and create your woke paradise utopian vision that what Chaz should have been, you know? And so I mean, when it comes down to it, all progress is change, but not all change is progress, right? It's not all change is moving in the right direction, okay? And so, hey yo, what's up you guys? So I'm coming to you with another video, and have you heard of the futuristic city of Telosa? Of course it hasn't, because it hasn't been built, but we'll go into ex-Walmart executive billionaire Mark Lowe, who has this vision of the futuristic vision of the future, his utopian city of Telosa built on equitism, aka wokeness, and we'll get into it, so shall we begin? But first, of course, if you're new to my channel, what is up? My name is Mitch, Maverick Mitch. Hey Mitch, all the Mitches, and pretty much I like talking about what I talk about. So current events, reviews, pop culture within the scope of entertainment, culture, and purpose. So TV, movie reviews, social, political commentary. Be sure to check out all those videos as you're finishing this video. Okay, so again, I'm learning this from my friends on Facebook. He posted it and he was all excited for this, him being on the left wing, you know, and this is coming from the New York Post, posting it yesterday. Blaze TV also did an article on today, but we'll go in a Blaze TV version. But just real quick, on the New York Post version, they did billionaire entrepreneur Mark Lowe wants to build nation's first woke city, their words, right? And so Blaze TV kind of does the same thing. Billionaire wants to build a woke, equitable utopia in the American desert. So again, we'll go into the article because already, I already have thoughts. You know, I do want to see what they go into. There's actual a video too, so, you know, and not a lot of people have not picked up on this yet, so we'll see if this picks up in the coming days and everything. So again, this is coming from the Blaze TV, from Phil Shiver? Okay, so billionaire Mark Lowe unveils his plans last week to build a woke utopian city from scratch somewhere in the American desert. Former Walmart executive and e-commerce tycoon told Bloomberg the new city called Telosa, after the ancient Greek word telos, meaning highest purpose, greatest, glorious purpose, will aim to solve the growing wealth gap in America, which he says is the country's biggest challenge. Most civilizations in history at some point fall, right? He asks, this is going to bring down America. Yeah, okay, he's referring to economic inequality. Okay, so whatever. But before he does, Lowe is determined to try out his version of a solution, a 100,000 acre modern metropolis with eco-friendly architecture, sustainable energy production, and a drought-resistant water system, okay? The mission of Telosa is to create a more equitable, sustainable future. That's our North Star, Lowe said in a promotional video, according to CNN, describing his proposal as the most open, most fair, the most inclusive city in the world. Planners are reportedly considering areas in Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Arizona, Texas, and the Appalachian region as potential cities for this, potential sites for the city. Again, we'll go into the video, but according to Lowe, the proposal is based on the ideas espoused by American economist and social theorist Henry George in his 1879 book, Progress and Poverty. George essentially argues that the private land ownership is the blame for rising inequality. Along those lines, Lowe claims that the current system of capitalism and significant flaws, many of them due to land ownership model that America was built on. While the current economic system is a growth engine, it has led to increasing inequality. The project website explains instead it touts a new economic vision called equitism as a way to build inclusive growth. If you went into the desert where the land was worth nothing or very little, you created a foundation that owned the land, and the people moved there, and the tax dollars built infrastructure, and we built one on the greatest cities in the world. The foundation could be worth trillions of dollars, Lowe told Bloomberg. And in the foundation's mission was to take the appreciation of the land and give it back to the citizen in the form of medicine, education, affordable housing, social services. Well, that's it, he added. Bloomberg reported that the initial phase of the project will be built to accommodate 50,000 residents across roughly 1,500 acres by 2030 at the cost of $25 billion. But over 40 years, the city would eventually grow to 5 million people across 100,000 acres. I can't say that right. At the cost of $400 billion. Lohr, who is reported worth $4 billion, hired Copenhagen-based architecture firm Blarke Ingels Group to design the city. Renderings of Telosa displayed on the proposal website show the pedestrians leisurely strolling in a futuristic city surrounded by greenery with air taxi systems and transportation. In its write-up, Bloomberg notes that Lohr is not the first ambitious entrepreneur to envision building a city from scratch, like he likely won't be the last. Sarah Moser, an associate professor of geography at Montreal's McGill University who studies planned city, told the outlet that she identified at least 150 city building projects backed by either governments or private groups. None of them have hit their population targets, she said. And then just really quick, that's a fair note. One example of a city that I know of, just because I'm Californian, is California City. There was a same person, like investor type, wanted to make California City like the premier city of California, and it's just a small town, well, small-ish town, like near Edwards Air Force Base, and it has not become the great city of California City that it was planned out to be. So we'll talk some more. So yeah, actually we'll watch the video first and then we'll go ahead and talk about it. So this is the video that he's promoting. We'll go into it and then talk from there. So
when I was 4 years old, I wanted to be a farmer. And my grandma, she used to tell me, no, you want to be a lawyer or a doctor, or you don't want to be a farmer. And I said, no, I want to be a farmer because they grow stuff from nothing. And I guess it was in my DNA at an early age. I love to grow stuff from nothing. And every idea starts with that seed. Well, today in America, we have a growing income and wealth disparity. The quality of life is not what it should be. And I think with Telosa, we have a chance to change that, or at least test a new model to see if we can learn something, at the very least. And in the best case scenario, we can create a higher quality of life for millions of people. And I had this seed of an idea years ago, and it's starting to get momentum, and it's super exciting. The cities of the future are going to need companies like Archer. We need disruptors. We need companies that are thinking about how to disrupt the current status quo. We need people with big ideas. We need people to take chances, take risk, try things. You know, we're trying Telosa. We're trying this new model for society. Others need to try other models, other ideas. We need to take risks. We need to go back to the fundamental roots of what it means to be an American.
really quick, I just want to play that last part. We are entrepreneurs, we're innovators, we're pathfinders, we're disruptors. Okay, so, alright, so let's talk about it, right? And so, okay, breaking this down, you know, the video in itself is not woke, right? There's nothing really in there that is woke, and even in the article, it talks about like economic inequality and everything, and those, sure, we can go talk about those points and wokeness, but one, I will say, I don't knock this down, right? If I do admire visionaries, right? He has this vision of doing something new, which is great, right? But I think there is levels in which if this is supposed to be a utopian city and everything, you know, I think there's a level in which, you know, he's conflating with, right? Like, so like when you're talking about like capitalism and how it grows and economic inequality, I think it loses factor that one, factor that a lot of people blame on capitalism, but you're just blaming on people's corrupt greatest nature, right? You're not really blaming capitalism as a tool, but you're just blaming the people that is exploiting capitalism in a negative life. So there's a lot here. So next portion is what I really wanted to say is like, yo, if you want to make a woke city, please do so. Like, I want to save California, I want to save Las Vegas and Nevada. Y'all can move to Arizona and create your woke paradise utopian vision that what Chaz should have been, you know? And so, please, by all means, prove us wrong, you know? Like, prove us wrong. If you feel like you can solve gender inequality and economic inequality and provide a safe space for diversity and inclusion and provide green sustainable future, please do so. I'm not saying that in such a fascist, like, condescending way. I honestly do want you to try it out and see what you can, and maybe there is something to learn, you know? Like, there is something that we can all learn from, but at the same time, we already seen how much of the woke ideology destroys. Like, when we are putting things such in, talking about intersectionality, when you're putting people in such boxes, it is hard to even go into. Like, when I saw videos at the Chaz, this was like, this is only a POC space. This is only a black space. You know, you need to at least have 1% black or whatever it was. And it was not doing well. Likewise, when they were trying to do like farming, like this were people who were LARPing, right? Who had not grown anything in their life, and they're trying to build a garden, a sustainable garden, like with the flower pot still in the flower pot. Like, it was like super crazy. And so I'm sure that they're gonna bring in people that actually know what they're doing, right? They're gonna attract people who can actually invest and do all this stuff, and that's great, right? There's people who can actually do those things, right? And so my thing is, again, like I was saying, if y'all wanna make a woke ass city, if y'all wanna make this utopian vision of all of this and think that it's gonna be great and dandy, like this is Panem, this is the capital, this is a brave new world, then sure, like, do it. Like, but I would imagine that there are gonna be some things that fail, right? And some things that been, like, they want to say like, oh, traditional values are old, like, why don't we do like polygamy, why don't we like do drugs and all this stuff. There's a reason why certain conservatives and traditional values have lasted the test of time, is because it doesn't go to the extreme, right? You can question that it didn't move fast enough, right? Like, okay, it took how many years for women to vote? It took how many years for women to be in the workplace or whatever, wear pants, even. Like, you know, sure, it's slow, but if we have seen where the left goes, and when it goes too far and too fast, too quickly, then it fucking self-destructs. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, all progress is change, but not all change is progress, right? It's not all change is moving in the right direction, okay? And so, again, going into this, it is very interesting how this will all play out. Again, this is not even in the, like, this is not even a blueprint, right? This is just an idea. So we won't even see if this is gonna be in fruition. But again, I'm not gonna knock down the vision, right? If you want to try something, try it. Like, do it, right? And again, maybe there's something that we can learn from it. Closing thoughts, again, like I said, I'm not dogging this down. I like this idea of visionary and creating a vision in the future, and everyone needs to play a part of that, as in, like, if you plan to have this actually happen, then you gotta build a momentum in actually doing this. And so hopefully it gets there. But where I want to be, I wouldn't say snarky, but like when we talk about this woke ideology, it is more or less self-destructing. You know, when it talks about, like, if this is leaning towards communism and socialism and Marxism, it's just going to be self-destructive, right? And so we'll see how this plays out, and we'll see how much people are willing to be a part of it, because a lot of people want to be good. They want to, like, all of this people who are quote unquote woke, I don't think they're invested in actually working. You know, a lot of these people here are virtual signaling, right, about this wokeness, but I don't think these are the same people who I would imagine as being settlers, you know, being the pioneers of something new, right? They want to critique what has always been established, but I don't think they're in it and understand what is something to create something new, because you're going to need a foundation out of that. And for the longest times, though, everything has been predicated on, at least here in America, Judeo-Christian values, right? Like, they think they can make a society without those values and have it succeed. My hypothesis says it won't. But again, I would like to see that prove me wrong. So anyway, I'm going in circles. Tell me what you think. Comment below. And see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. You can follow me on my Instagram at HeyMitchMitch. And see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace, peace, peace. Be with you.